Black filmmakers are not made in Hollywood. Their talent is rooted in the Black experience.
Hi, I'm Agnes Moss, and I am the founder and president of the National Black Movie Association. As a young girl, I remember always being drawn to Black stories. I have a large family and a lot of aunts, and they would always come to the table. We would sit at my grandmother's house at her kitchen table, and everyone, all of my aunts would just talk about stories, their experiences, but each one would come to the table with a different angle or a different perspective. So I would just listen. My ears would go up and antennas, and I was all ears. So I would listen to them say, and one particular story that they would talk about, because they talked about everything from Black culture to news, latest trends, or the neighbor down the street. And I just remember one particular story in which they talked about the color purple. They had gone to see The Color Purple, and it was an amazing experience for them. I think the story resonated with them. And I remember hearing that, and I asked my mother if I could see that story, if I could see that movie. And I was young, but she allowed me to see it. She took me to the movies, and she allowed me to see it. And from that point, I fell in love with Black movies. Started out thinking around high school, maybe I wanted to be a newscaster. I wanted to be a reporter. So I pursued that, only to realize that I really love telling our stories. Not so much the hard news or the news that makes you feel sad, but the things that make you feel good. The things that bring about emotions, and whether it's a sad emotion or a happy emotion, you feel it and then you come back. And so it's that sphere, I think, of creativity that I eventually knew I wanted to do something in film. Okay, the movie that probably most inspired me as a young child or as an adolescent, I have to say House Party. House Party gave me the style with the high top fade and the asymmetric and the bright colored jackets. I can't think of what you call it. It was what? What was the name of it? Cross colors. Oh my goodness. If you know the group Kid and Play, and if you've seen Tisha Campbell, then you know exactly Salt and Pepper, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. And I found myself trying to, and I must have been around 11, but I found myself trying to copy that style. Another one was Spike Lee's School Days. Yes. I felt like that movie was for me. I was going to go to school. I was going to have that college life like School Days. And also DC was well represented. I think that was the first time go-go was on the map. And go-go is one of my favorite genres for music. And I love it. And when I saw them on stage, I just felt so inspired. So I connected with School Days and House Party. Those were the two most influential films for me as an adolescent. The people in my life, and I've come across some amazing people, but they have been the most valuable resource for me in becoming an entrepreneur, because you have these models where it's one size fits all, and that just hasn't been the case for me. I will admit that actually becoming an entrepreneur came out of a necessity. I'll share a story. I was going to work every day, and I was giving it my all. And I would come to the table with ideas. and they were shot down. They were considered stupid or incompetent, and they would let me know. And it was just so, it didn't feel good. It never feels good when you operate in a creative space and people tell you, your ideas it's ridiculous, it'll never work. And I would still go to work, I was still giving my all, but it just became too much. So for me, entrepreneurship and resources came out of me pushing my way, reaching out to people and just saying, hey, can you help me? Only because I was so miserable. My most valuable resource, and I know it's cliche, I know a lot of people say this, but it really is my mother. My mother has been the person that I bounce ideas off of, I go to for comfort and get advice. The most valuable thing she said to me is, Agnes, whatever it is, life is too short to be unhappy. Follow your dream. Follow what you want to do. I'm here to support you. The best book I've ever read is The Miseducation of the Negro by Carter G. Woodson. That book gave me a whole new perspective on how to live life, how to work, how to live your purpose, and how to go for what you want. From that book, I learned that you have to go get what you want. When you're waiting for someone else to validate you, when you're waiting for someone to put a stamp on you, when you're waiting for someone to give you an opportunity, it's not where you want to be in life. It's not a good place to be. And that book helped me realize how I was working. I was going to work every day, wanting someone to validate me, wanting someone to say, great job, wanting that praise. And when I didn't get it, it was detrimental. And I'm glad I didn't get it. I'm glad I did not get that validation. Fast forward to now. I love movies. I have a history of storytelling with my mother and my aunts. I have all these great resources, from educational materials and books to mentors that I've met along the way. And I was unhappy on my job, stifled by all of the challenges and not being able to be my creative self. I created the National Black Movie Association. The National Black Movie Association is all about community. Our goal is to continue the rich legacy of Black storytellers and to make sure that we have great representation on screen, because it's our stories, it's our experiences, it's our culture. My vision is to not only be a community resource with programs and initiatives like National Black Movie Day, but to also be a resource for aspiring Black filmmakers, especially those attending historically Black colleges and universities. And that's why we've created the Real HBCU Challenge. It's an opportunity to showcase and support aspiring Black filmmakers with scholarships and professional development opportunities. We all know that Black movies mean so much more than entertainment. And if you love Black films the way that we do, I invite you to join our cause. You can learn more about our organization by visiting our website, and that's blackmovieassociation.org. And you can join our conversations on social media. I invite you to help us in building the future of Black filmmaking.